Masquera saying Zimbabwe, welcome to our channels, Confessions and Deep Secrets. Kana gari kipitanka kukuya panino channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Kana chungwa garoka subscriber, don't forget to comment and share this video. Nasi Zimbabwe takwigirai nyabulitwa ne one of Zanu PF youth where Buddha achi indosa President Emerson Mnangagwa chinzili Mnangagwa family irikufanda kutonga, and they want the Mnangagwa Dynasty kutirambe ichitonga, and even President Emerson Mnangagwa but he wants to retire and wafanira kusucceedwa nemwana wavo, and they want the Mnangagwa family kuti wanikwe ichitonga asina kupera mushe nema citizens asukare nema supporters of Vice President Constantino Chiwenga varitaura vachiti he is the right candidate to replace Mnangagwa kana achinge apedza kutonga Zimbabwe. Tarakwatikuita vana vasi kunzwisisa kuti nyika iri kuenda kupi. President vairevesa iri pakataura kuti is going to retire kana kuti ndonga takambozvakara nekumasvingo vachitaura ivo vachiti they are going to talk to President Emerson Mnangagwa kuti vasasiye chigaro, varambe vachitonga, varambe vari pachigaro. Tisati mungonzwa audio iyi mwambadza zvamuri kufunga pamusoro penyaya iyi mucomment section.
Hamberi neZanu PF, hamberi na comrade Mnangagwa, hamberi nemhuri yava Mnangagwa, pasi nevasingade kuti vaMnangagwa varambe vachitonga kusvika 2050. Isu sebato reZanu PF macomrades tiri kuwirirana kuti vaMnangagwa kana vada kusiya chigaro toti muna 2030 kunofanha kupinda mai Mnangagwa votonga kubva 2030 kusvika 2040. Mai Mnangagwa vachibva kutonga kopinda tongai Mnangagwa otonga 2040 to 2050. Kana tongai Mnangagwa asvika 2050 kopinda Emerson Jr from 2050 to 2060. Emerson Jr achibva 2060 kopinda Colin kana Silas Mnangagwa 2060 kusvika 2080. Achibva ipapo kwauyawo mumwe wedzinza rekwava Mnangagwa. Tapedza aMnangagwa ndo vari kupinda third term, hakuna mumwe tatopedza. Pamberi ne-third term, pamberi nekuti mhuri yava Mnangagwa irambe ichitonga kusvika 2080. Tapedza.
Tofunga mangozvinzira mega Zimbabwe kutaurwa nemuyouth uyu weZanu PF kutaura kwatiri kuita. Others are saying President Emerson Mnangagwa vatotanga kuronga his third term agenda. The UK-based lawyer from Zimbabwe, Brighton Mutebuka, was on his ex-handle achitaura in article yataura iye achiti reliving the beginning of ED's third term agenda and the Shabangu connection. And one, it's important to refresh minds and remind my followers that I was amongst the very first in August or September last year to link the Shabangu saga to ED's third term. And many in Zanu PF, the opposition and high-profile academics and journalists openly ridiculed me, including Zimbabwe's multi-award-winning journalist in 2017 coup supporter Hopo Chingono. Chingono claimed to have an exclusive from CCC senior MPs opposed to Chamisa, who allegedly citing the absence of collective leadership structures and constitution as the primary reason for the implosion. And he went on to run a sustained anti-Chamisa campaign on that score from August last year into early this year, working on X algorithm furiously to repeatedly focus on that sole issue alone until Chamisa had resigned. That campaign was being run simultaneously with or alongside ED's behind-the-scenes maneuvering for a third term, which had begun in earnest. That campaign had the effect of delegitimizing Chamisa, fracturing CCC, and giving cover to ED's campaign, confusing and confounding many gullible observers. The non-politically concerned, even today, some are still to wake up from the slumber, finding it increasingly difficult to justify his position after coming under fierce scrutiny. Chingono initially accused me of writing compositions moved on to accusing me of using AI to write my posts, before then falsely accusing me of being dishonest while claiming that fellow lawyers like Bettina Gapa had told him that I was running attacks against him. He went on to block me in the interest of accountability and transparency, given where we are now. Sometime this week, I will publish the epic post I wrote at the time, seeking to provide clarity to the political developments which were taking place at a frightening pace. In the past few weeks, without any fanfare, Chingono belatedly accepted that Shabangu, Ngube and others had all along been working in aid of ED's third-term agenda before being quietly dropping the structure's constitution and collective leadership narrative. He only did so after the damage had already been done, after he had relentlessly fed a narrative to his near 1 million ex-followers and others on his different platforms, which was highly beneficial to ED's third-term agenda for more than 6 months. Significantly, once Chamisa had resigned from CCC and Ngube, BT, and others were now at the helm of CCC using dubious means, Chingono suddenly stopped the anti-Chamisa crusade and never sought to hold the new leadership to the same level of scrutiny. I am highlighting this because it is a critical component of why we are where we are at this juncture. Soon after the election was stolen, Chingono rushed to accuse Chamisa and CCC of not having V11s to prove that theft before then going on to recommending that everyone should move on. This is even before SADC's SCMO report, and shortly after as well. At that time, there already was credible evidence that Shabangu had fuzz handlers. If that information filtered to me and others, then it would have come to the attention of someone like Opel, given the deep connection that he has in the regime from his work. Conclusion: it is my respectful view that the petition taken by the likes of Opel and others at the initial phase of this saga was instrumental in achieving 4 things. A. Camouflaging ED's third-term agenda while in its infancy. B. Delegitimizing Chamisa and CCC as a political force. C. Providing a credible narrative for the demise of CCC, which would absolve ED's regime of any responsibility for such. D. Clearing the ground for ED to carry out his agenda with very little scrutiny, national or international, leading to a situation in which, at the point of discovery by many would okay, it would be as good as fate comply, which is where we are now. I must once again remind many that Opel is a Harvard and Oxford-educated, multi-award-winning journalist. He is followed by multitudes on his social media platforms. His position carries immense power and huge responsibility in shaping public opinion in Zimbabwe. He fervently supported the November 2017 coup despite the counsel from the likes of departed, venerated public intellectual Alex Magaisa. While he has since apologized, his explanation that he did this as the opposition also did the same cannot wash, as he has got his own cross to carry based on his values, education, awareness, and profession. When historians eventually come to write about this period, they will no doubt pay particular attention to how ED was able to evade scrutiny during the early phase of his agenda, dodging the SADC election observer mission report, getting inaugurated, successfully deploying Shabangu, and dismantling CCC, almost one fell swoop with minimum blowback. My take is that this was partly due to the immense contribution made by leading figures like Opo Chingono, just like the contribution he made in laying the groundwork for ED's coup regime to be accepted during its infancy. As the situation stands, we now have a serious national crisis on our hands and a potential implosion which impacts everyone across the national divide. Zvabuda zvitaurwa na vaBrighton Mutibuka muri Zimbabwe. Tingaziva kuti munoona sei nyaya itudzo zvamukufunga pamusoro penyaya iyi mucomment section.